retreats actually worth it, or are they just an expensive trend? What actually happens at the retreat? So, if you've been interested in this topic in today's video, I'll share real footage, real moments, and my reflection from the last retreat in Bali in March. Or maybe you just want to get inspired and feel the feelings of being at the retreat, or maybe make a decision whether you also need one. So I suggest you grab a warm drink and let's begin. The retreat was called Feminine Mystery, which was focused on feminine energy, on returning back to yourself, to your body, experiencing this beautiful moment at Bali, nature, waterfalls, and really going into authentic experience. I created this retreat because coming to Bali for me was a lot about returning to my feminine. There was a point when I was feeling really lost, super spiritual, and I, neglected all the material. Like I didn't want to dress up, to do makeup. It felt, all not necessary. I thought, I'm not just a woman, I'm a soul. And I completely forgot that I'm actually a woman. And Bali is a place that returns you to that. First of all, because of the local women who are really in their feminine nature. Most of the women in Bali are super intuitive. They're like healers and I don't know what, some special women with abilities, and how they take care of their families, how feminine, light they are, and just so playful. There are so many things you can learn just from them. And also, of course, the energy of Ireland is just vibrating with this femininity. First of all, with, this pleasure, because in Bali you can find so many experiences that bring you back to feeling yourself, like the ecstatic dance, going to ocean, swimming, then going to waterfalls, drinking cacao, going to massages that are absolutely beautiful. And this humid weather really slows you down, and it's all qualities of just relaxed and happy woman. Hello from Bali. I finally arrived and I'm staying in this beautiful place for a few nights until I go to the retreat villa. And today our plan is to buy gifts for all the participants and some small things, and just also have breakfast, because yesterday was Nyepi and everything was closed and we were totally unprepared for that. So today is the day when we finally go to explore Bali and get the needed things. And I was hoping that when women came to this retreat, they could feel all this energy and integrate later in their own lives, because of course when we live our ordinary lives, there is a lot of to-do lists, tasks living in their heads, and I hope that they can overtake insights, habits, rituals into their daily lives. One of my favorite things in Bali is fresh juices. They're literally everywhere, and vegan food, so I'll finally enjoy it. And also, I hope that for a week they can immerse themselves in completely different environments, standards, luxury, villa, where everything is taken care of for you, where you see that some different life and possibilities are there. And this is like creating a new norm, and you're really never going back to where you were. You start changing something. Always for a retreat, I'm preparing also retreat agreement, so that you feel safe making your investment and know what happens in the unforeseen situations. It's the day of the retreat. We rented the car and now we are going to pick up yoga mats, flowers, some small things, and going to a retreat villa. Of course, one of the best things in a retreat is that everything is prepared for you. You don't have to think about so many details that I'm thinking about, and you are just here to relax, just to be. You don't have to think, to worry. You're just fully letting it go and being in your feminine energy. Also, I have a big PDF file with most frequent asked questions, from visa to mosquitoes to best places where to go. So you're fully prepared, and then I'm always there for you to answer your questions. So I want to make sure this retreat is just an amazing, amazing experience for you. So before the retreat, when I arrived to Bali myself, I was like so happy because those green rice fields jungles immediately activate something deeper in yourself. First of all, it's a green color, symbolizes heart opening, and you feel cleansed even just by being there. So coming back there again after some break was very nice. And even though for the retreat everything is planned, I always help girls, we have common chat. At the same time, I understand that it's a mystery, the name of the retreat, that in Bali there is this magical thing that is not explainable, but just trust me, it exists, that things are aligning exactly for yourself, and it depends on the people who come and how it all will unfold. The most important thing is to be very grateful, very kind when you're in Bali and talking to Bali people, because when people take it for granted, in Bali you can experience very fast karma, and you don't want that in a bad sense. So we have a bunch of flowers for our mandala. Very soon we will make a mandala and we're going to our villa.
Let's go! Welcome to my crib. I deserve this. I deserve this. Oh my god. Look at this.
During the retreat, my favorite moments were when we sat down at the end of the day and discussed how we felt, what were our insights, our internal breakthroughs. And even though we had the same experiences, each one of the participants had different outcomes, you know, because when you're in a group, it's a completely different dynamic. You sometimes feel inspired, sometimes you feel triggered, and other people become like your mirrors. And the way this group connected with each other was incredible. The support, the kindness. It felt like everything we went through was so much powerful because we were together. It was a true sisterhood that is not cringe, that is, you know, something that each woman craves in terms of a friendship, or just, you know, legalizing that being friends with women is not about comparison or competition, but is something very real, very sincere. Good morning. It's our second day of the retreat, first morning in this beautiful villa. What I did not expect was, I think it was the second day of the retreat, we went very far into the north of Bali to visit a few locations. And while we were going there, the road was crazy, like, and one of the women felt a bit sick, like actually very sick. And we thought, okay, we just need, you know, to slow down. It will come off after a while. But something unexplainable happened. It was not just some sickness, it was some energy. And it happened so that we went to visit rice fields with authentic family there. And the woman in that family was, you know, a healer. And she confirmed that it was some Bali energy coming into her. It wasn't anything dangerous, but it was something more than sickness. And she showed us how you can deal with those things. That was so interesting to me, such an authentic experience that wasn't planned. And afterwards, after experiencing that with a healer, imagine you just accidentally get a session with a healer, get blessed in her temple at home. In Bali, they all have temples. And that was something I completely didn't plan, and something that might have happened, as a bad situation, turned out to be one of the most memorable and important moments for both of us. Actually, that sightseeing tour through rice fields, I didn't expect how good it will be, how happy will be the ladies. They said that it was one of their favorite activities. One more thing that definitely exceeded my expectations was snorkeling and seeing turtles, because I used to do it already one time, but this time it was so much more special. I was amazed by the underwater life, the fishes, and how free you can feel just in the ocean. And we got so many beautiful videos, so that memory will stay for me for a very long time. The special experience at this retreat was also going to another island, Gili, which was exciting and, of course, challenging at the same time, because you have specific time for the ferry, need to pack your luggage to go with taxi, and we were almost late and just rushing and trying to get in. But it's also part of the process. Retreats are not meant to be perfect, because then they're not real, then they're superficial. When they're real, you're exactly getting the situations, and you have the opportunity to change the way you react, what are your patterns. I think that the most surprising to me were the emotions of women after the retreat. Their reviews were so touching. They almost cried, saying it was just a lifetime experience, that it's something that's not even measurable in money. It's so much more, so much deeper that you get there. And it's so interesting that all the women, even though it was, retreat about femininity, later signed up for a business program where they up level. And I think it's because when you tap into your feminine, you realize you're the creator and you can create anything in your life. And of course, at that moment, you want to start working something that you truly love. And that's why all the women also now are actively working on their projects. Some of them already launched their academies, hosted their first dance events, and many other things. It's very exciting, actually. In terms of group energy, in the beginning, girls were a bit, shy, maybe even scared. Something could have triggered, like someone taking a photo, or that they had different plan, or they felt maybe overwhelmed. But it literally stopped on the second or third day, and with each next day, they became even more bonded, close to each other, and started going through all these experiences as this very close knit group. And I think by the end of the retreat, they just felt so relaxed in terms of their trust. They really understood what it means to be in the flow state, when you notice the signs, when you know that you don't need to always be in your head, that you can be in the moment, that there's magic happening when you turn inwards, and that their impulse to go to Bali really proved to be the right one. When you have this inner urge, it's always about something truly real and authentic, and when you follow it, magic just happens. After this retreat, I understood that feminine embodiment, I am the owner of Feminine Embodiment Academy, is not about, just somatic body practices, breathing, dancing, doing yoga, and so on. Embodiment, it is about embodying, and embodying is becoming, truly becoming that authentic version of you, who you were meant to be, who you came here to be. So it's not just about practicing, it's about really grounding um, who you are. And so many of us just are thinking about becoming, rationalizing, analyzing, but it's so powerful when you can ground it and really become that new version, not new, true version of yourself. This retreat for me as an organizer was a lot about letting go of control and trusting that even though everything is planned, there has to be room for this spontaneous thing that whatever happens, happens in the best way possible. And when I surrendered to that, it truly was like that. And I was really proud that I could really create such a fulfilling retreat, with going to another island, with having such good conditions. We had luxury villa, such good food, experiences. We had, womb session. We had tea ceremony. We had special guests, my mentor and teacher. We went to cleansing ritual. We went to kirtan. It was really, really good organization that I'm proud of. And I truly think retreats is the activation. It's not just relaxation, not some five-star all-inclusive resort. No, retreats are meant to do many things, but first of all, challenge you to go out of what is comfortable and stop being stuck. Because if you're all the time in the same environment around the same people, you don't get to notice how much more is possible for you. And it is possible for you to feel different, to live different. And retreat shows you, by meeting new people, having new experiences, and having these new standards in life. So it's so much powerful than just even reading a book or going to online courses. It's a new way how to combine travel, wellness, mindfulness, and personal growth. And if after this video you feel called to join some other retreat of mine, I have a full plan for the year. It's super exciting. We're going to China, to Bali, to Vietnam, to Latvia, with amazing retreat programs. Uh, every country has its energy, its vibration, its habits and philosophies you can overtake. You can read about it more in the description, and I hope to see you maybe on one of my retreats.